board to tell everybody what a fabulous group of young people we just saw on stage. Congratulations to Mrs. McConnell and all these kids are great. They're going to do great at this competition. I can't imagine how much talent we have here. Wow. Bravissimo. I also think they were having fun when they were up there. They really looked like they were enjoying themselves, and that's great. Next on our program this evening on our agenda, we'll be visiting delegations. We have Mr. Connor Gilbride. There's a microphone here, Connor. Please.
Thank you. Alrighty. Well, hello. I want to start off by saying hello. My name is Connor Gilbride. I am a student here at Scranton High School. I'm also, obviously, as you can see, a culinary arts student at the CTCLC. I study under Mark McAndrew, my chef. I'm here to talk to you guys today a little bit about what's happened over the last couple months at Votech.
Great. Please do.
So CTC's juniors and seniors celebrated Pi Day on March 13th of 2015. Students brought a circular object from their lab area and explained how and why the object is used, as well as the approximate cost of the object. After explaining, the students divided the circumference by the diameter of the object to see how close they came to 3.14. Culinary students sold personal pan pizzas for $3 and 3-inch diameter cookies as well. Finally, students competed in memorizing the most decimal places of pi. The Culinary Arts Department, led by Chef McAndrew and Chef Ananea, participated in the following community activities. Culinary Arts students baked sheet cakes and volunteered as servers at the Friends of the Poor St. Patrick's Day dinner at St. Mary's Center. Student volunteers included Christina Freeman, Nasir Woods, and Carla Gutierrez from West Scranton. Students made and decorated sheet cakes to serve 400 people for the Scranton High School Night Players performance of The Music Man. The students participating included Simon Barra, DJ Costa from Scranton High, and Christina Freeman, Laurencia Thomas, Ayanna Myers from West Scranton High. Students also made several servings of cream of broccoli soup for the Penn State Extension 3rd Annual Spring Craft Show held at West Scranton Intermediate School. West Scranton students Alan Sobrinsky and Zachariah Waltos participated. Cosmetology students in Miss Minikenny and Miss Martinelli's program attended the New York Hair Show in Manhattan and donated their time doing hair and makeup for Lackawanna College's Backpacks to Briefcases fashion show. Cosmetology students also donated their time doing manicures, makeup, and hair at Keystone College's Refashioning Friday, a fundraiser benefiting the Women's Resource Center of NEPA. National Technical Honor Society induction was held Wednesday, March 18th. Senior students excelling in their program areas were recognized. Matthew Clutter, Robert Waltos, and Megan Williams from West Scranton, and the following students from Scranton High: David Costa, Rosemary Echeverria, Melissa Evans, myself, Lorraine Gonzalez, Kayla Hill, Elijah Isaac, Jean Marie Jenkins, Sean Reed, and Victoria White. NOCTI testing has started for all seniors completing their program of study. NOCTI is the largest provider of industry-based credentials and partner industry certifications for career and technical education programs across the nation. Students performing competent or advanced have the opportunity to earn college credit in their program areas. And that is everything that has come up in the last few months.
Thank you, Connor.
Yep. Good job, Connor. I'd like to say a word. I'm very proud of Connor and all of my students with regards to their great sense of community. Connor's worked very hard over the past 3 years. He's a senior, and he'll be graduating. and he got accepted to the Culinary Institute of America, and he'll be attending in September.
Congratulations. Next, we have Gerard Hetman of Lackawanna County.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Scranton School District. Gerard Hetman from Lackawanna County's Community Relations Department. Before I get to my very brief remarks this evening, I would just like to follow Connor and say that I had the privilege of attending as a proxy for then Commissioner O'Brien earlier this year an advisory board meeting at the Career Technology Center of Lackawanna County. It was a pleasure to see the good things that many of your students, students from around Lackawanna County and our region participate in at the CTC on a daily basis. And our group was able to sample some of the treats that were prepared probably by Connor and by Mr. McAndrew's class. They were fantastic, and we see many good things that go on again at the center every day. So it was a pleasure to see that firsthand, and I know many of your students participate there. So hats off to them and to all of your faculty that work every day with those good things. The events that we have just coming up, first, just a reminder that our flagship spring event comes up on Saturday, April 25th, and that's our Bike Safety Fair for Children from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at PNC Field. And again, each child in attendance at that event will receive a free bike helmet and compliments of PNC Bank. We will have law enforcement officers from the Scranton Police Department, as well as the Pennsylvania State Police and the Lackawanna County Sheriff's Office on hand to do free bike helmet fittings and also adjustments and checkups on each child's bike. Children are welcome to bring their bikes, and they can ride them around a safe, supervised course around the concourse at PNC Field. And again, our coloring contest is still open. We typically have the commissioners pick the winning entries the day before the bike fair, so I would say probably up until approximately Thursday, the 23rd of April. We will still be accepting entries, and of course we did give some entry blanks at the last meeting. If your office needs more, just let us know. Secondly, coming up sooner than we realize, the annual Armed Forces Day Parade in downtown Scranton, which this year, always at the end of Armed Forces Week. The exact date is Saturday, May 16th. It steps off at 11 a.m. in front of the Geno Murley Veterans Center. This is an event, this will be our 4th year being involved a little bit with planning the parade, and we've seen it grow in terms of attendance and in terms of participation from different civic and community organizations every year. And any group that would like to participate, including any of your bands or any groups from the school district, are welcome to do so by calling either Sergeant First Class Tammy Maslowski at 570-496-8908 or Joe Sylvester at 570-961-2696. Our third event this year is a new initiative by the Penn State Master Gardeners Group, part of Penn State Extension in Lackawanna County. They call it kind of an Earth Day fair with the specific title, Earth Day is Your Day. It's an event where they take over the concourses at the mall at Steamtown and offer a variety of different displays, booths, tables, and information sessions on many things relating to gardening, landscaping, horticulture, agriculture, and everything to do with Earth Day and environmental sustainability. It takes place on noon to 4 p.m. and the date is Saturday, April 18th. They have a lot of information on the flyer. Open to the public, and there'll be many, again, different displays and good items of information on hand, so everyone is welcome to stop by. And lastly, these don't happen until later in the year, but the second year in a row, our Parks and Recreation Department hosts what they call Family Fun Day. It's basically an open house at each of our 4 county parks. It takes place at McDade Park first on June 27th, Covington Park on July 11th, Aylesworth Park on July 25th, and Sarnowski Park on August 8th. And those are all Saturdays. It takes place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. And again, it's just an event where they have some entertainment, typically face painting, balloon artists, and also music and refreshments. So everyone's welcome to come out and have a little bit of extra fun at all of our county parks. And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you as always.
Thank you, George. A report from our PTA representative, Ms. Melinda Crocus.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, I wanted to, everybody kind of scooted out of here, but that was a wonderful performance. Actually, I wasn't here last month because I was in El Paso, Texas, with visiting, looking at the kind of border and immigration situation, economic refugees, and mothers and children fleeing the drug violence fueled by our own drug violence here. And however, every evening, no matter what these people have been through as they've come across the border, from 8 to 10 was a little bit something Latin. And it was great to see that, because all of those people come to our cities and towns and bringing something Latin here. So it was nice to have that represented in our high school as well. There's very little to report at this point. The busier that the local units are, the less action there is, it seems to be, at the council level. Everyone's busy with their fundraising, getting ready for a big season of family fun nights and so on and so forth. The actual information that I have is that our next council meeting is going to be April 30th, Thursday at 7 p.m. at West Scranton High School, which is different than it is on the normal calendar. We've put it off in order to have a kind of year review from each of the local units to come and say what they've done over the past year, what they've learned, what has worked and hasn't worked, as well as to set a direction for the next year and set our goals district-wide across the PTAs. So I invite all of you to come. This should be outside of some of the other meetings that can get very idiosyncratic. This one's kind of a broader vision from the PTAs across the city. So we also look forward to working with Dr. Kirian and enjoying the partnership as we go forth. So you too are very welcome to this meeting, 7 o'clock at West Scranton High School. All right, and I think that's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Crocus.
Thank you.
Next, we have our report from our student representatives.
Hi, good evening. I'm Corey Naughton.
And I'm Bridget Stuckert.
First of all, we'd like to welcome Dr. Kieran to Scranton High School.
Nice to meet you.
Just going to let you know about a few things going on at Scranton High. Scranton High School has hosted several 8th grade students in our shadowing program. Students are able to accompany a freshman at Scranton and go through a typical day here at the school. Students from St. Paul's, St. Stanislaus, All Saints Academy, and West Intermediate have all participated. On Wednesday night, students Allison Barrett and Robert McGowan will be honored at the Scranton Times building for being named 2015 Scholastic Superstars. And the Night Rhythms will leave this week to compete in a show choir competition in Myrtle Beach. We wish them the best of luck and know they'll do great.
Thanks, Corey. Scranton High will host a blood drive on April 28th. We will be expecting a great number of participants as always. Our students will have the opportunity to display many of their abilities in our annual talent show. It will be held on April 30th at 7 o'clock in the SHS auditorium. Scranton's half marathon on April 12th will conclude at Memorial Stadium. On April 24th, Scranton High students will participate in a Rita Scoop for Mr. Bieri, an elementary school principal involved in a serious car accident. A percentage of the profits raised will go towards aiding in his recovery. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Andrew Simpson. I've been out for the past 2 meetings because I was in our school musical, so now I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm Antonio Seco.
There are only a few months left until graduation, yet the last few months are the busiest months, as we know. Before announcing the events to come in April, we would like to announce some important achievements met in March. Throughout this month, West Scranton High School has held 5 dress down days, benefiting the Art Club, the Drama Club, Casual Day, the Technology Club, and Autism Awareness. At each dress down day, students raised about $600 to $700. West Scranton High School senior Rebecca Price was notified in March of a full tuition scholarship at West Chester University. We would like to congratulate her on her hard work in earning this scholarship.
West Scranton High School senior Eric Denicola received 2nd place in the PSA Public Service Announcement competition completed by the speech and drama students. This year's assignment was to write the PSA on distracted walking. Eric won a $500 scholarship, and drama teacher Mrs. Angela Franick received a free subscription to Choices magazine. The National Spanish exam was completed last week by Spanish 2, 3, and 4 classes. Students enrolled in these classes have a choice to take the test in order to receive scholarships for their college. West Scranton has received awards in the past for gold, silver, bronze, and honorable mentions.
Students recently competed in the annual computer fair at Keystone College and took home 2nd and 3rd place. And students also competed in the annual Wilkes University IEEE Engineering Olympics on March 27th. These students finished the competition with 2nd place. West Scranton players had held a successful show of The Addams Family the Musical. Guests filled the auditorium each night to see this musical and worked long hours to complete this musical. Now the West Scranton players will be competing in the ESTA Awards, Excellence in School Theaters Awards, on June 1st in many categories. On April 23rd, the West Scranton players will hold the annual lip syncing competition, and all proceeds will benefit a charity of their choice. We'd also like to congratulate the Scranton players on their stellar performance of The Music Man.
We would like to recognize junior students Danny Saturday and Jake McDonald for winning the PSU writing competition. West Scranton High School senior Jason Palauskas was named Scholar of the Year by the NEIU and will attend a dinner and receive a scholarship. West Scranton High School senior Sarah Prowick was named the Times-Tribune Scholastic Superstar.
The Chorus Club will be making their journey to Walt Disney World this weekend to perform for guests in Orlando, Florida. Sunday, April 12th, there will be a PTA meeting in the alumni room at West Scranton High School at 6 p.m. And West Scranton High School will be evaluated by the Middle States for reaccreditation on April 14th through the 17th. Class officers, including myself, will be giving representatives from the Middle States tours of West Scranton High School and explain the mission statement of West Scranton High School.
On April 23rd, West Scranton High School will host the Willard Elementary students kindergarten through 2nd grade to our annual Read Across America program in the boys' gymnasium during school. West Scranton High School will be celebrating Spirit Week from April 20th through 24th. Days include Sports Day, Decades Day, Tie-Dye Day, Salad Dressing Day, and Class Shirt Day. The week will end with the final competition on our softball field, full of competitions between each class.
And April 30th and May 1st, West Scranton High School will hold a reading SAT workshop and a math SAT workshop to prepare for the May 2nd SATs. And that's all we have. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Report from our PSPA representative, Director Donahue.
I have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Solicitor's report, Attorney Menora.
Nothing further to report on.
Acting Superintendent's report, Mr. Marichak.
Nothing at this time.
I'll entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Mrs. Orr?
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Verwan?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
The non-consent agenda items, items 17 through 22 in our packet. Director Donahue, Budget and Finance.
Members of the Board of School Directors of the City of Scranton, it is the recommendation of the Budget and Finance Committee that the following resolution be approved. Be it resolved that the proposed general operating budget of the Northeastern Educational Intermediate Unit, NEIU number 19, for the 2015-2016 school year be approved. Respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question? Hearing nothing, Mrs. Orr?
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Verwan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Members of the Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Scranton, it is the recommendation of the Budget and Finance Committee that the following resolution be accepted. Be it resolved that the Scranton School District approves the contract to hire Alou & Associates to perform an audit of the Scranton Single Tax Office for the year ending December 31st, 2013 and December 31st, 2014. The costs associated with both audits shall be shared between the City of Scranton and the Scranton School District as per the attached bid document from the City of Scranton. Respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Hearing nothing, Mrs. Orr?
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
To members of the Board of School Directors of the City of Scranton, it is the recommendation of the Budget and Finance Committee that the following is approved. Whereas tax map number 134-0806-0066 has paid 2012 and 2013 school taxes, and whereas said property was tax exempt, an owner has since sold said property and is entitled to a reimbursement of 2012 and 2013 school taxes. And therefore, be it resolved that the Scranton School Board hereby approves the reimbursement for tax map number 134-0806-0066 for the 2012 and 2013 school taxes. Respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Hearing nothing, Mrs. Orr?
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Labor Relations, Dr. Rowan?
What about personnel?
Excuse me. Excuse me, that was good. On personnel, Mrs. Oleski.
Members of the Board of Directors and the City of Scranton, is the recommendation of the superintendent that the following be approved. Permission to attend meetings as per attached.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Hearing nothing, Mrs. Orr?
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Members of the Board of School Directors of the City of Scranton, is the recommendation of the Personnel Committee that the following appointment be approved. Sean LaRue, Faculty Support Staff, effective April 6, 2015, salary $13,245.75, respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Mrs. Orr?
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
To the members of the Board of School Directors of the City of Scranton, it is the recommendation of the Personnel Committee that the following be approved. Whereas Mrs. Kim Mecca currently administers the Scranton, Pennsylvania Elementary and Secondary Counseling Grant Program, and whereas this program has been administered by Kim Mecca, and the grant will continue for the 3 years, and therefore be it resolved that the Scranton School Board of Directors hereby approves that Kim Mecca will continue to administer the grant program to the, I'm sorry, I needed water. Per attached agreement, respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Mrs. Orr?
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
That's it from right now. right?
Under Public Relations, Director Donahue.
To members of the Board of School Directors of the City of Scranton, it is the recommendation of the Public Relations Committee that the following is approved. Be it resolved that the Scranton School District enter into a naming rights agreement for the gymnasiums at both Scranton and West High Schools with Northeast Pennsylvania Center for Independent Living as per the attached agreement. Respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question.
On the question, President Dwyer, I think moving forward that this is something that should be put out for a request for a proposal in order to make sure that the school district is getting the most bang for our buck, so to say. I don't know if $12,000 for the naming rights of 2 high schools, you know, I understand we get a little more in there, but I don't know if that's really enough for the events that go on, especially in Scranton High School's gymnasium. Thank you.
On the question, Director Dunning, no, Director Dwyer, is that Justin McGregor? Did you put this together?
I did.
And can you just give us a little background, because I'm sure you were diligent about what you did with this?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, for the months of September through, pretty much into February, I had been seeking a sponsor. I went all over the community, contacted dozens of businesses, and the Center for Independent Living responded favorably. I based the numbers off of the price off of the attendance numbers at both Scranton High School's gymnasiums and West Scranton, and that's the number that I came up with. It's comparable to we're getting $50,000 a year from our naming rights deal on the stadium. If you look at that, we're getting $12,000 a year, so it's 1/5. So $60,000 is 1/5 of $500,000. It's right in the target market.
And I agree, you did good work there. I'm just saying that moving forward, in order to, cast a wider net, that we put it out for a request for a proposal, and then, if we don't get anything back, then we could go and solicit. But just to make sure that we are getting the most for the biggest bang for our buck, I guess. Because I mean, with the stadium, that was for a specific purpose, was to pay for the new turf. But just moving forward, that's all I request.
Yeah, and I don't want to overlook what I believe may be the most lucrative part of the deal, which is the fact that we're partnering with an industry leader that's going to come in and shore up services in our most complicated department. Now, Gina Colorasi would be able to explain that, but she was a part of this and looked it over, and again, I think those savings will be significant in the long run. I think it's a great deal for Scranton High School sports program and West Scranton's program, and for the district as a whole.
I think you did a great job, Justin.
I think you did a great job, Justin. I'm just making a mention of moving forward.
Yeah, I just wanted to explain everything. Thank you, directors.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
I might add, this is the first that we've done this in the district's history, where we've taken on a naming rights contract for the replacement of the AstroTurf at Memorial Stadium, and in no small way, Justin was responsible for that, and this was quite honestly a deal that I know he worked very hard on, because we talked about it repeatedly as he was working his way through possible leads, and the partnership should bring benefits, as Director Rawan mentioned earlier, in our interaction for our special needs students, in the community of special needs students that we have. The services will be not only expanded, but they'll be at an extremely high level. This is an industry leader, as was stated earlier, and we are really fortunate that this was put together in such a fashion. Again, congratulations, Justin. Great job. Mrs. Orr.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Dwight?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Duffy.
Members of the Board of Directors, City of Scranton. The Buildings and Grounds Committee presents the following resolution for your consideration. Be it resolved that TriGuard Security Incorporated, Avoca, Pennsylvania, be awarded the bid for security monitoring for the Scranton School District at a cost of $8,300 per year for 3 years. Respectfully submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Mrs. Orr.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Dwight?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Special Education Director Oleski.
To the members of the Board of Directors, the Special Education Committee hereby recommends the following resolution for your consideration. Where the school district of the City of Scranton is subjected to the administration proceedings of civil suit within the appropriateness of the student's special education program has been challenged, or suits have been filed in ODR numbers 15881, 1415KE, 15828, 145KE, and 15942, 1415AS. Whereas the parties have reached a settlement agreement in the matter upon the terms and conditions previously provided for your consideration. Therefore, be it resolved that the settlements as attached hereto be approved upon terms and conditions as described, and the Superintendent of Directors of Special Education are hereby authorized to execute any or all documents necessary to consummate this matter. Respectively submitted.
Second.
Having been seconded, on the question. Mrs. Orr.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes.
Mr. Martinelli?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Oleski?
Yes.
Dr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Dwight?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Under new business.
Director Dewey, under new business, I would like to welcome Dr. Kirian tonight, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Welcome, Dr. Curie.
Welcome, Dr. Karen.
On a note, under new business, in this morning's Scranton Times-Tribune, a young man, student at Scranton High School, did something rather extraordinary. We have a freshman by the name of Kyron Harbin, who is the Athlete of the Week, and in so earning this distinction, which is pretty significant. He broke 2 existing Scranton High records in a track and field meet last week. The record for the long jump and the record for the triple jump. They're really impressive numbers, I believe, and I'm shooting from the hip here. A jump of 21 feet, 10 inches in the long, and exceeded 45 feet in the triple. And as a freshman, this is really a significant accomplishment. So congratulations to Kyron Harbin and his coaches and teammates, Coach Powell and Coach Michelle Reed. They do a great job here, and we'll look forward to seeing him continue to improve during the rest of the season. And I will entertain a motion to dismiss.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Drive safe, everybody.